This one takes a little while. If you want to go down here and get one of these small ones down here,
okay.
they'll
you just show me what, you show me what's good to look at.
Right. Yeah, this one right here is getting ready to raise the head and everything. If you want to just look at it.
Where's the action going to take place there?
It's going to, the whole thing's going to come up.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to take the sock over there and it's going to seam it. It's going to take it right here.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Just getting ready in just a minute here. Getting close to it. Okay, here it goes here now. It's going to raise everything up.
So it's down there underneath where it's gonna. Oh, I see. Wow. Great.
What it does, it knits it over here, then it transfers it off over here to seam it.
Wow.
So that, then it's seaming it, it's still seaming over here. That's what that does. You look in the back here, see it right here, seaming right there, see it?
Oh, I see. That's awesome. Now are these, are these stockings or socks or what exactly?
These are compression socks.
Compression socks.
Compression socks.
How long does it take to make a pair of them?
A pair takes about 7 minutes.
7 minutes, wow.
Takes like 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes per sock.
Wow. And you got it set for different sizes and things too? Yep.
Like what we do is we run, like we mark ours on the inside. Like this is a large, and this is the compression that it is. So this tells us what size it is and how much compression it has in the sock. And then this here has our logo on the outside, on both sides. And you know, that just tells us what the stocking is.
And so I get your name right again. What's your name?
Mark.
Mark, what's your last name?
Best, B-E-S-S.
Mark Best, and what's your name?
Lindy Rich.
Lindy?
Rich. Rich.
L-I-N-D-Y?
W-E-N-D-Y.
Say it again.
Wendy, like the restaurant.
Wendy, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's hard to hear with the mask.
I know.
I'll give you our names and stuff you want.
Great. Outstanding. Awesome. Wendy, thanks for showing me.
Tammy's over there. Tammy Bowman, she's over there. She does our boarding and finishing and everything. Like when we take them from here, we go to the wash and then we wash them, and then we dry them, and then she boards them, and then she pairs them, and then we package them together.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this, Mark?
I've been in it for over 35 years.
Wow. How about you?
The only thing I've ever done.
About the same.
Yeah, really, wow.
I've been here since 2016. We started the company in 2016. And we started with one machine. We got 10 now. We got 3 employees now. We would have more, but we need more space. So we're waiting to move into a new building.
Yeah.
And when we do that, then we're going to grow.
Awesome.
So hire more people and go even bigger.
Thank you for showing me this. This is awesome.
I'm Mark Bess. I'm the Director of Manufacturing at U Apparel. We started our company in 2016, and we started out with one machine. Now we have 10. We started out with 1 employee. We have 3 now, and we're looking to grow. We're looking to buy more machines. We're looking to add more employees. We're all about made in the USA too.
Tell us what you know.
We make compression products. We make compression knee highs. We make thigh highs. We make compression footy socks, and we make leg sleeves, compression leg sleeves.
Do you mostly sell to the medical community or healthcare or what?
We sell to healthcare, and we also sell to the public, but we do not sell to retail. We do not sell retail. We do have an online store. You can go online and people can purchase there. And we have a lot of people that need custom made products. So whenever they ask us to make custom made, they have maybe a special size that nobody else has, so we make them for them. And they tell us their size, and then we make them for them and we sell them. But mainly we sell to healthcare, and that's our biggest thing.
What's the advantage of having your business here?
Our advantage here is to get the products out quickly, and also that the quality is much better here. We use American-made yarns. We use skilled employees, which helps. They understand the job. They understand what we have to do, how we do the job, how our quality standards are. Also, our owner was buying from Asia, and it took 30 days to get the products to him. Now we can turn the products around in 2 to 3 days. Sometimes we can turn them around the next day, but it depends on what the product is and how quick somebody needs something. But we try to turn everything around in a couple days, and that's the advantage we have here. Yeah, and being an MSC here, we could not do it without them here, because they give us so much support that we wouldn't have anywhere else. Dan St. Louis, Tony, everybody that's been here has really, really helped us to get off the ground, give us the resources we need. We would never be in business today without them. And so that's what we need. All the small businesses in here rely on MSC to survive. And it's been a very, very big help to us. And we're all about made in the USA too. And that's the #1 reason why we're in here also.
So this is another one of the MSC incubator clients. This is a company that in 2013 was founded under the name Silk Incorporated, otherwise known as Silk Therapeutics. It's a health and beauty company. In 2019, they changed their name to Evolve by Nature once they branched out from just health and beauty and then started to involve silk in the textile industry as well.
So I am Alex Cranston. I've been here at Manufacturing Solutions Center for a little over 2 years. I went to NC State College of Textiles, studied textile engineering there, and then was brought on here shortly after that to work in knitting, research and development. So we have a lot of different types of knitting technology here at MSC. I specifically work here on this Santoni seamless machine, I work in some other areas as well, but this is where I specialize. So it's called Santoni seamless because the fabric comes out in a tube that's basically the size of the garment that is then going to be made. So traditional cut and sewn fabric is made on huge rolls of fabric, and then a pattern is laid over a big stack of them, and then they're cut out and then sewn together. So that's why most shirts have seams on the sides of them, and same with leggings or pants. They all have seams on the side. So this machine makes tubular fabric, which this is an example of that. It comes out and you can see it's just a fabric tube. And so on the fabric, we do these things called sew lines so that the pattern maker or the cut and sew agency can then cut it out and then attach sleeves. And so this here is a finished version of this. And you can see there's no seam on the side, and that's really good for athletic apparel and things like that where there's a lot of movement and you want to be able to avoid having those seams that would be rubbing, especially like on lower garments and stuff, just to avoid having that seam. It's less restrictive. So in addition to this machine being really good just because it makes seamless apparel, it also is really cool because we now have the ability to knit in different designs and patterns and different yarns in areas of the garments that traditional like big fabric knitting machines can't do. So back to this garment here, so you can see these areas. This is special yarn knit in, which is actually has a silver component, and so it's electrically conductive. So we can attach a device here to these little metal adapters that can read the resistivity of this area, and so when the person wears the shirt and they breathe, it can track their respiration. So these types of garments are really good for like professional sports and college sports athletes, so the coaches can monitor their the players' respiration and decide when they need to come out and stuff like that from a game or during practice. So a lot of cool technology. I got some more examples here. This is a fabric that we've made. It's a mesh fabric, and so this is just kind of to demonstrate some more capabilities of the machine. You can see I put it in a shirt here just to kind of have some breathability for the wearer. So like I said, these machines make a lot of athletic apparel, and so try to figure out ways to be able to make garments more comfortable and just more functional for the wearer for different activities. So lots of different applications, undergarments, sports bras, different things like that. And so we use this machine to work with a lot of startups, entrepreneurs, existing apparel manufacturers, and yarn companies to both develop new fabrics and new garments. So we just have a wide range of people that we work with, and really we're willing to take a look at any type of whatever area of textiles you're in. If you're wanting to especially get into knits, we're usually able to help in some area of that. So there we go.
Perfect.
All right, excellent.
I want to make sure we get that held up the side of this, so I'll have you, like that way you can get it side by side.
That is awesome. Yep. Got it.
And then the back.
That is so cool. Very cool.
And then when he's talking in the beginning, I know I messed you up too. When I reached down, I was going to tell you when he's talking about it's made in a tubular, that shows it, but then this is pants.
Yeah, that would be.
So I was going to say, if you do like, when he's talking about it's made in a tubular fabric, you could show this image.
Absolutely.
Because this is pants. So, all right, now, did you want to get that running?
Hard to see it actually making fabric. There's a cylinder of needles in there, and if you get like really close, you can kind of see. And I'll slow it down once it gets started. So what happens is we've got all of these cones of yarn on the back side on what's called the reel, and it holds all the yarn packages. And then they're fed through these metal guides that come up to here and then up here, and they run down through these, they're called storage feeders, and then it goes into the needle bed that's spinning really fast. It has these tiny little needles that come up, catch the yarn, form a loop, and it just does that in succession over and over and over. Every time the cylinder spins, it's making 8 courses of fabric. Just like in a t-shirt, it's just rows and rows of fabric. That's what's happening here.
What kind of material are you using here? What kind of thread? What kind of?
Right now, I've got nylon in there. Yeah, most of the time on this machine, we're knitting with polyester or nylon just because that's what most active apparel is made out of. But you can see there's fabric in here being made. And when I have it's called the dial, when I raise that up, I can't run at full speed, but you can see it spinning in there. Yeah. And it's making fabric. And over time, there's a vacuum that pulls down. So over time, as it keeps knitting, it gets longer and longer and longer and goes down into the vacuum. It makes tubular fabric.
Wow. Thank you very much. I guess that's what I needed right there.
Right, it's like the whole little, those are the types of products that are made on the same thing. Well, except the beanie, that's made on the skull, but we'll get to the skull here in a second.
Hi, I'm Jason Wilkins from Innova Knits. We're one of the incubator clients located in here at 301 Conover Station. My company specializes in a specific type of knitting called flatbed knitting, which is a type of knitting that allows you to make a diverse array of products. Whereas a sock machine can make a sock and some machines make tubes of fabric, our machines can really make almost anything. So as you kind of pan across the table, we can do knit hats, braces, socks, prosthetic socks, and garments, balaclavas. We get involved in crazy things sometimes like lacrosse nets and shoe uppers and gloves with Kevlar, just all kinds of different stuff. And that's really, we're a contract manufacturer, but our niche is really doing sort of the weird stuff that's not really traditional apparel or traditional knit goods, and going right from yarn to finished product. And so we're always working with our customers to sort of develop basically a specialty product or kind of a niche product. We sell it just to them with some exclusivity, with the ultimate hopes of their business growing along with us. And, it's something that's too difficult for them to get somewhere else or too difficult for them to get from China or some of our competitors, which there really aren't any.
Tell me about the gear and everything that you have to use to achieve this, and what the manufacturing solution center means to your business.
Sure. So as far as equipment, it's a very specialized equipment that does this type of knitting. There's really 2 main manufacturers worldwide. One's German and one is Japanese. So we specialize in the equipment that is the German equipment. We own all the equipment as Innova Knits that's in this facility. All the machines range from $35,000 each up to $150,000 each, depending on sort of the size and the capability. We started here a few years ago with 2 machines, so now we've got close to 20 stuffed in here. And we'd love to stuff more, but I'm not, every day we're having that conversation. So what does it mean, the Manufacturing Solutions Center? Why are we here? We moved here from Florida to start this business co-located at the MSC. We knew the guys here, the director, Dan St. Louis, and Tony from our previous lives in the orthotics and prosthetics industry. We were trying to make compression hosiery. So we got connected with these guys because this used to be the Textile Technology Center. And so we got plugged in with them to come and do some training in that type of knitting. We never ultimately went that direction at that company, but when my business partner and I decided to leave there and start our own venture, we knew that Florida wasn't really the right place. There's really no textile supply chain there. So where could we go? We got in touch with these guys, and they sort of had this MSC incubator experiment sort of just getting up and running and getting people in here. So we were early on one of the first clients to get in here and co-locate. So for us, it's just been one great thing after another. I mean, forget about the building, which is very nice, and the we piggyback on some boiler and some steaming equipment, washing and drying, some stuff that we don't have to hit that upfront cost with is especially helpful when we were just getting started. That way we can focus on our machine-specific equipment, which is expensive enough. But also, the foot traffic through here from brands and retailers and politicians and just across the board, the people that they work with, those people come through here, they spill over, they see the table that you're looking at now, and that's connected us with so much business versus what we could have been if we just rented warehouse space down the street or started the business in my garage or my business partner's garage. And it's really helped accelerate our growth just because of the wide array of customers that we've been able to get just connected with through this entity. It's been a great way to validate ourselves as well. We're a small company. We just got started. This being in here and being in this building, really sets you apart from maybe a traditional startup where you got a leaky roof and you're trying to piece together everything you can. We have a nice building with a nice conference room and a nice lobby, and so it's really helped put us at a level much faster than we probably could have achieved had we not, gotten involved in something like this. So not only, is it a business incubator that I think is recommended, but also this particular incubator, these guys have a lot of experience in textiles. So as a textile-related business, it's sort of a no-brainer to be involved in an incubator where, the entity is textile-centric or textile-related. So for us, it's been nothing but a win-win, and we anticipated that when we came here, and it's just blossomed from there.
Some of this stuff looks like it would be extremely complex to just weave. Can you talk about the challenges that you face and how you tackle those?
Yeah,
What kind
sure.
of people you have to do this with?
Sure, yeah, that is a very specialized skill. So the most specialized skill is in the person that programs the machine. So you tell the software what to tell the machine to do. And then we load the programs into the machines with a USB drive. So most of that information is already in there. The brains of it is in that USB drive, and that's what my business partner specializes in. And it's done on a dual monitor PC. It kind of looks like paint, but with an awful lot more stuff going on. So some of the pattern you can see, but some of it looks like gobbledygook to the rest of us. But it's all option lines and coding that he's defining not only the shape of the item, but what else is going on there. And as you can see, some of these items like this product, are a multi-layered item. You've got a front and a back, same with this type of hat, same with some of the net type stuff we've got there. Even the mask, I mean, that comes out of the machine, already with some shape to your face, which is, you can't get that out of a flat piece of fabric. So this is the kind of thing that these machines specialize in. And yeah, the skill set for people that can program them is really limited. I mean, it's a niche of a niche of a niche. So you're committed to a specific type of knitting, and then you learn the software of a specific manufacturer of that machine. And you can't just go bounce around from that either. So yeah, people that learn this mostly are learning it on the job because they've committed to work for a mill, and they've got the aptitude for it, and they're able to train and learn it from someone like my business partner who's learned it from doing it his whole life. So there's no class. Someone who has a good mix of mechanical and sort of electrical knowledge is really is positioned at least to succeed in something like that. Because not only do you have to know how to program it, but inevitably you have to then be able to come over to the machine, watch the machine do what it does, and which is all mechanical for the most part, and then make sure it's doing what you asked it to do. Of course, because it is. This is not like CNC or a lathe. This is not like you get the CAD file and you put it in the machine and that's the end of it. There's so much more to knitting, which it's a very interesting blend of art and science in knitting, and that's why I think a lot of it left this country, is because it's very hard for a lot of business people specifically to wrap their heads around. They want it all to be very cut and dry, but it's really not. I mean, the humidity in the room affects the yarns every day, and that affects how the piece knits, and that's going to change your dimensions. It's not a piece of metal that comes down. It's a very fluid thing. So it's a, and then people on the floor, that's a little bit different. We're looking for people that are good with their hands, and then just basically, nobody, I guess everyone that starts here is at the same advantage and disadvantage in that most of them have never done anything like this before. So at sort of a level playing field, and we really try to sort of train everyone from there. So if you're good with your hands, you're able to problem solve. You can think about, things from a mechanical perspective and kind of trace a problem back. Then that's all we're really looking for as far as the hands-on stuff goes. And then those are the same types of people, if they've got the aptitude for that can ultimately end up learning the software and learning to program it. That was a long answer to your question.
That's awesome, though.
You can certainly see the carriage working, and what I can do, and what I will do, I'll sort of do it with the screen open. I have to hold it, when we're open like that. But it gives you probably a better shot. So what I have is actually two beds of fabric that kind of make a V together. And then I can knit on either bed, front or back, and I can add needles and subtract needles. So I could knit something that was very narrow and grows to as wide as the knitting area that you see here, and then shrunk all the way back. They can't do that when they're knitting a sock or knitting in a cylinder. They're dictated by that cylinder size. We can do any kind of shape. That's why we can do something as small as a shoe upper, or as big as a sweater, or as wide as a blanket. So flatbed knitting gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of control over what the product looks like that comes out, all at the expense of cycle time.
Do you have an example of what you just? Can you show me what you're?
Yeah, what I'm making.
Yeah.
What's going to come out? Yeah, what's actually going to come out is, and it doesn't look exactly like this when it comes out, but this machine is making masks right now. So I don't know if it's going to make an indigo or jade. I'm not sure.
I'm just going to say, if the blue one comes up missing off the table,
Do you like that one?
and you see Tanya wearing a blue one, it's not related at all.
I'm just fascinated that he can do all this different stuff.
Yes, I'm telling you, this is one of those.
Yeah, this
that
is
I was
impressive.
getting ready to say, can we, for MSC's video, we're going to have like a long one that's an hour long, and then make like small.
You know what? You guys tell me.
So I'm Jordan Schindler, CEO of New Fabrics. Our core company mission is around simplifying health and wellness. So it's this idea that instead of having to use a cream or take a pill or a patch, what if you could just get dressed in the morning? And so our core technology enables controlled delivery of vitamins, supplements, medications through your clothing. So it's anything like a pain relief infused sock with icy hot. So instead of having to rub a cream multiple times a day, you just get that all day pain relief benefit through your sock. Or it might be this newest version of the mask that we've launched with it, which is infused with a moisturizer. So this contains a shea butter moisturizer. So we've all heard of maskne and bad skin and irritation, but what if you could get that all day moisturization while you're wearing your mask? And then it might be a pair of yoga pants with an anti-cellulite ingredient. So we can custom tailor and put ingredients any spot you want in the garment. And we're creating this new category of clothing that we call healthy wear. So everything we do is manufactured in a clean room environment, and we're able to deliver a very precise dose through a garment. So again, we're creating this new category. It might be socks, knee sleeves, arm sleeves that are actually able to deliver a medical benefit as you wear it. So our company was actually founded on the West Coast in Seattle, and we quickly realized that we were in the textile industry but didn't understand textiles. And so we searched across the country to find an ecosystem that was able to promote and grow the domestic textile industry. And we were very fortunate to come across Manufacturing Solutions Center. And it's this whole ecosystem of, you call it incubator space, knitting machines, antimicrobial testing, wash, stretch, abrasion, all these things that are super important for textile garments that you really don't think about when you make a product. And so having all of this $50 million worth of equipment in one building has saved us probably 3 or 4 years of development and millions of dollars of expense that we probably couldn't have afforded on our own. So we have over here where we do the prototype R&D development, we literally walk it down a hallway and test it and knit it into sleeves. And then you walk it down another hallway and you get it tested and validated for the stretch and the moisture wicking and the abrasion and flammability. All of this stuff that people take for granted when you go to buy a garment at the store. But all of this stuff is extremely important, both for our textiles, but for any garment, right? And so you have to be able to determine what the right amount of ingredient that's going into the garment, but it still has to look and feel and perform like a normal garment. And that's why this facility has been a blessing for us.
How is it going? I mean, talk about business and the future of what you're doing. It seems highly innovative to me.
We are definitely keeping busy, that's for sure. There's no shortage of things to do. Our business has grown. I mean, we've hired 24 people in the last 60 days. We should, knock on wood, be top 5 of the Inc. fastest growing companies next year. So we've been very fortunate to work with a lot of government, city officials, hospitals for our mask and PPE products, which has allowed us to grow and scale very rapidly. So we do all of our R&D and development here in Conover, and then we do manufacturing in Asheboro. Everything we do is North Carolina raw materials, made in America, knit in America.
Yeah. So how do you like living on the East Coast rather than West Coast?
Yeah.
What was your adjustment like?
I love it living out here, actually. So I live in Charlotte. Can't beat the weather, can't beat the food, can't beat the friendly people. It's a great spot to be. And this is where the industry is, right? This is where all of our partners are. Within an hour of sort of this I-40 corridor from Asheville to Raleigh is where all of the manufacturing is. It's where all of the expertise is that you really can't get anywhere else. Our team grew up in textiles, 30, 40 years experience. Our COO was president of Acme McCreary, one of the large yarn guys here. And that's what's allowed us to scale and get to market quickly, because you drive 10 minutes and you've got your raw material supplier. You drive 30 minutes and you've got your knitting and your manufacturing, right? And that's part of why we got into such an issue on the PPE, because it was all coming from overseas and the supply chain was totally messed up. But having this domestic resource allows products to get to market so much faster. Absolutely. Go for it.
Your turn.
If there's anything else that would be helpful for you guys, what we're trying to do, let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Brad did a fantastic job that day.
He really did.
But it's good to have you, the founder.
Yeah, if you think there's something else, you can give me a call.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
He didn't even hear you.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Seth Setzer. I'm with the Manufacturing Solutions Center here in Conover, North Carolina. So my area here is what we call the structural furniture testing and engineering area. So a pretty diverse area. We do what we call structural furniture testing furniture for structural strength and durability, as well as some small-scale prototyping. So I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's an organization called BIFMA that writes specific test standards for a piece of furniture. They've got all these different test standards to test a piece of furniture for the back, the arms, the legs, to make sure that it's structurally safe and it's going to hold up over time. So you don't sit in it, doesn't break, nobody gets hurt, anything like that. I've got one test running right over here. Just a real nice example here. So this is what we'd call a backrest durability test, a cyclic test. So one of our machines we use here, it's a chain pull actuator. This thing here is a load cell. A lot of the tests require a specific amount of force to be applied to the backrest, legs, or wherever it may be. In this case, it's the backrest. So we're applying a specified 75 pounds and then pulling on it and then releasing it and then doing that over time for a cyclic test, if you will. So just one example of something we do. In this case, it's the backrest, but it could be the arms, it could be the seat, depending on what the customer is concerned with and what they want to test. And then we got other different machines we use for furniture testing as well. Aside from the furniture testing, we also do small-scale prototyping. One of the things we use is a 3D printer. This is our newest 3D printer here. It'll print a 12-inch by 12-inch by 24-inch build volume. So if you're not familiar with 3D printing, essentially the way it works is it takes in plastic filament that's fed into a heater head. So essentially then it takes that plastic, extrudes it through that heater in there, and then with a series of gears and belts drive that head backwards and forwards, and then print your part out layer by layer. So you can 3D model essentially whatever you want and then have that printer 3D printed out. So very useful for one-time parts, or before maybe a manufacturing process, before injection molding, something like that. You can 3D print, get a physical part, and to see it real firsthand before you invest all that money. So we've worked with a bunch of different customers to help them with their prototypes, and it's also useful for us as well to make our own parts for our machines. It'll print hard, solid plastics, as well as flexible materials as well. This is one thing we printed. Pretty much, we call it an ear saver for our face masks. So this will go, the face mask will go over your face, and instead of having to loop these around your ears where it can kind of wear your ears out, this will loop right around your head there. So cool things like that we get involved with, depending on what we need to do for our customers. Yep, so a variety of companies reach out to us for different things. Like I showed you, the structural furniture testing, if they're trying to test to BIFMA standards for their furniture, or if it's a custom test, we will work with our customers to develop that test for them. And we also have customers reach out for us for the small scale, like I say, prototyping, 3D printing, and CAD modeling as well. So if that's anything that fits y'all, yeah, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on our website at manufacturingsolutionscenter.org.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get a close-up of her putting them on, too. In a
That'll work.
second.
But it's pretty cool how it brings them
Yeah.
down, stacks them up underneath, and then shoots them out. If you will do here in a second, it's going to...
Let me get a, oh yeah, let me get a close-up of that.
That will probably, if you sit down here, right there. See how it...
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the machines, this is one of the machines that they're talking about having the advantage of being able to use while you're here. It's called a soft sorting machine. This would cost them a lot of money if they were to go out on their own and had to buy one themselves to use.
I see.
The older machines that we had an older machine in there. You had to put the sock on. It went through the heat like an oven, and then when it came back out, you had to pull the sock off. This one is steam-based, so she's putting the sock on, but it goes around. The steam is setting the sock to the sock formation, and then it automatically pulls the sock off and brings it down that conveyor belt.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but it's cool to stand right here, yeah, and see all the, how it just stacks them up, and then they'll put them in the tub.
All right, well, what we do here, we work a lot with major yarn companies and stuff like that to do prototyping with their yarns so they can take it to plants and show them how it runs. We also do a lot of stuff with the new equipment that closes the toe and stuff for entrepreneurs. So if a person has an ideal, we can help them take it to fruition. And once we find a solution and get their products running, we'll actually find them a domestic manufacturer here in the United States to work with. But we're a one-stop shop, whether it be on the technical side or the entrepreneur, somebody started out completely green to the Fortune 500 companies domestically doing products and stuff like that. What makes these machines unique is once they are done, they come off the machine and the toe is actually closed on the machine. So when it's done knitting, it transfers what it's getting ready to do here. It'll transfer the knitted part of the sock over to the sewing head. This eliminates a step process where somebody would have had to went and done this, a human being. But what this has made us competitive domestically. The machine, as long as it's running, never lays out. It just is another different skill set of technicians that we have to have today. But what you can see here is it's transferring the fabric over. So it'll actually transfer the sock from the machine, and this is your sewing head on this side. And on the back side here, you can actually see the sewing machine. And once it transfers it over, it'll actually close the toe. It turns it wrong side out. See, once it turns it wrong side out, then that'll move out of the way and it'll actually close the toe.
So right now it's closing the toe on the
Well,
other
right
side.
now it's turning it. Once this moves out of the way, it closes the toe. As soon as that arm comes out, if you can come right over here to the side, you can actually see the sewing machine actually flips. It flips, and now the sewing machine comes up, and it's sewing the two pieces of the two halves of the sock together. We not only do, yeah. We also do sleeves on here to where we don't necessarily have to do socks. We can do finished sleeves, the finished end on both ends. But the unique thing about having a lab here is people can come in and work on the products here with us, with the vendors and stuff. The yarn guys can, and then leave it the finished product and a tech pack. But everything we do here is geared towards domestic jobs and sourcing and stuff like that. And so it'll spit it, it'll turn it wrong side out and bring it out the other side.
So this is one finished piece.
Yep, and this is what you get. It's finished then.
Unbelievable. It's perfect.
Yep.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say about it?
I think that's it.
All right, good deal. I'll introduce yourself so I can see.
Okay. My name's Rodney Siegman. I'm the Textile Research Development Specialist here at MSC. Been here 22 years this year. So